Hello, welcome to another episode of Crypto Charts. I'm Fausto Botelho, broadcasting from Brazil, and today we're going to take a look in the S&P, some other indexes that are not signing below the breaking of the all-time high of the S&P. And we're also going to take a look in 12 cryptos that we're keeping an eye because they might be indicating, or they might actually give us indications that they will outperform Bitcoin. And of course, we're going to take a look in Bitcoin. So let's go, starting with the S&P that today interrupted this upward movement somehow, yesterday and today. Well, that's the situation. I think this is a big drift pattern. That's not a configuration that one would see, in my opinion, when a important resistance like this one is broken. As we can see, the market is drifting away. Today it's back already. If we see in the intraday, it's back in the lows of the day. I'm showing you the mini S&P here that goes around the clock. So as you see, we're back in the lows of the day, and we have clearly breaking this support trend line and reverted apparently this upward movement. So, but also, if we look at the Nasdaq, we see that it's still in a drift pattern after having broken this resistance trend line, which is the historical all-time high. So I'm expecting that the market will at least make a pullback to this former resistance line that should 8,000 in the Nasdaq 100 to offer some support at that place, right? Now the Dow Jones that we see, it's up in the way, right? Has also breaking this all-time high and gave us a sort of a reversal. It's probably coming down to test this former resistance all-time high, 27,400, and then we have to wait to see what's going to happen. But the important thing I want to show you is that if we go to the if we go to the transportation index, the Dow Jones Transportation Index, we see clearly that it's not breaking all-time high. On the contrary, it just gave us a bull trap. So what kind of market breaks all-time high in one index and gives us a bull trap in another very important index? The economy, when it goes expanding, the transport should go together because they will be transporting the goods that are being created with this expansion of the economy. When that doesn't happen, well, Charles Dow used to say that in the beginning of last century in his editorials. One average would have to confirm the other one. And he was actually meaning the Dow Jones Industrial and the Dow Jones Transportation, the railroad at that time. So I see a big reversal here. So I don't think the S&P is gonna keep going up. On the contrary, I think the S&P is a candidate. It's a severe candidate to a very special bull trap. Let's see what happens. But if that happens, then I'm pretty sure that this will be the beginning of the correction that I've been expecting for a long time, which would be a simple Fibonacci correction, so the first level Fibonacci correction. But due to the prices, to this upward movement of nowadays, well, it would be meaning a 40% drop. 40% drop would cause a big recession in the world for sure. And the crypto world would certainly receive some of the money that would be flying away to quality. Well, flight for quality is what used to happen in the past. But nowadays, are people really flying for quality when they go to the American T-bills? I don't really think so, because the issuer of those debt titles at the subprime crisis used to owe $9 trillion. Now it owes $23 trillion. It's the biggest debtor in the world. So eventually part of that money is coming to the crypto space, and that could just boom the space. And well, that said, let's go take a look in Bitcoin. Oh no, first I want to show you a chart of the S&P when compared to a real value asset. What is the asset that doesn't oscillate, that has its value kept from ages? Gold, right? Gold has no inflation. Gold is gold. So look what happens when we compare the S&P with gold. And I've got the chart right here for you guys. It is right here. So that's the chart. You know what's happened since 2000? 2000 was the peak. The market is now 62% below the prices that they were at 2000. And if you take the S&P in dollars, inflation out, because I'm indexing it to the CPI, and comes to 2000, the market is now 32%. So is the market 32% up? No, it's not. It's 62% down. So meaning that eventually it's not the stocks that are going up, but the dollar that is going down. That indicates that inflation is there in the dollar. It's just not shown. It just didn't appear because it's disguised because there's powerful forces that don't want to disclosure that yes, there's inflation, and that eventually the interest rate will have to be increased. Can you imagine what would happen if a authority of the US announced that eventually they could think of raising interest rates? The market would just collapse. And so there's many things that I think are holding this upward movement of the S&P. And we might see, even though I'm talking about that a long time ago, I still have, I think, very good, not technical now, but well, actually technical, because when you see that other indexes don't follow the S&P, that's a bearish indication, right? So let's move to cryptos and take a look in the S&P first of all. I'm sorry, take a look in Bitcoin. Well, I'm still very bullish at Bitcoin. The most important thing, analysis in this weekly chart of all the data available for Bitcoin since 2010. But the most important thing is that I understand this is a corrective wave and that we've started a impulsive wave. And that's easily a corrective wave, right? So that being said, this is the daily chart of that correction. We yes, are coming down, but I think we're slowing down this downward movement because this accumulation, the support that this accumulation provides, it's being noticed by the market. So probably we might have a reversal here around 8,000. And whenever this resistance trend line is broken, I think the sky's the limit. The market can just go wildly up. So it's a good idea for you to follow this resistance trend line here. Whenever it's broken, I think we'll have the signal to enter more aggressively in Bitcoin. Now there's these 12 coins that we think might outperform Bitcoin. First one is Augur, REP, R-E-P, that produced a bottom formation, and after that gave us a accumulation pattern, rectangle maybe, and now it was escaping. Actually yesterday it escaped from actually I'm doing this video on the 20th, but we are already UTC is already the 21st because the markets have closed already. Yeah, that's quotes for the 21st UTC terms. So Augur, I think, has a good potential of keep outperforming Bitcoin. Now BNB, Binance Coin, I think so far has given us a bottom formation here because of the break of this resistance trend line, which I think can be considered as a neckline of these inverted head and shoulders that would project this objective, which would mean from today's price 55% more or less. So I still think until today, I think that this might have been only a pullback to this former resistance level, that if not confirmed, because apparently it has been broken, but if we have a reversal here, then it would have been only a pullback. I am confident that this is going to happen because this instrument has outperformed Bitcoin since its beginning, and after two upward movements it stayed sideways. So I think this is a continuation situation, so keeping an eye on it. That's it. Chainlink is accumulating in what I think is going to be called a triangle or a rectangle, an upward triangle or rectangle. It's testing this resistance trend line, and I think it's flagging up now, sort of flagging up. So keeping an eye on this accumulation whenever it breaks, and we keep an eye on the hourly chart, right? Whenever it breaks, I thought it was breaking today, but no, it came down back. But whenever we have a good breaking of this resistance trend line, which is the flag that I see here in the daily chart, then I think we have the signal to get in. Decred has broken this resistance trend line, and I think that's bullish. It's coming down now, but it might only come back to a pullback to this resistance trend line. And if it does, like it seems it's doing now, then it's time to enter Decred. EOS also produced what I think is a inverted head and shoulders, and it's now going sideways after having broken this resistance trend line. So this might come into this might result into an upward rectangle, and if it does, the objective would be 50,000 satoshis, which would mean from today's price around 30% upward movement. Now Ethereum has it broken this resistance trend line? Because you see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 points in this resistance trend line that lasted already for almost 2 years. It kind of broke this trend line and it's going sideways now. So if it breaks this resistance that is being tested now at 0.2180 or 0.2022, I think being the second most valuable cryptocurrency, I think it's a good idea to put it back on the portfolio. Litecoin has given us so far a bear trap, I suppose, because I see a double bottom here and I see the breaking of this resistance trend line as the confirmation that this is a bottom. Now it's coming down again, but I think it's a pullback to this former trend line here. So first indication of upward movement, I think it should come back to our portfolio. Now NEO is one of the coins that I think is most promising because it broke this resistance trend line 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and it did by producing a pennant or a symmetrical triangle. And afterwards, I think it just flagging up. It well, before yesterday, it was kind of indicating that it was breaking this flag up, but it's still holding. But I think it's just taking a cup of coffee here and it's going upwards again. Has a potential immediately up 25%. And of course, if we draw Fibonacci lines here, the first Fibonacci correction would be over here, quite a bit away from where we are now, 81%, so not bad. Waiting for it to give actually, we have already recommended NEO. We have already recommended it, and our stop it's down here. And we have also recommended EOS token. EOS token, we've recommended. I don't think, yeah, I'm not going to be showing you in the ones we're keeping an eye on because we already recommended, right? Objective is up here at 120 satoshis. Now back to the cryptos we're keeping an eye. Ontology, well, it escaped from this accumulation here, which means this was a bottom, and it's now going sideways, which makes me think that this is a continuation pattern. So keeping an eye on it. Quantum, well, it's testing this resistance trend line. Whenever it breaks, I think it's gonna confirm this is a inverted head and shoulders, and then there's a trade there to be made, right? Because it might probably come back to these 50,000 satoshis here, which would be, let's put it from here, 80% upward movement. Stellar, wow, Stellar gave us a bear trap here, and it's testing now this resistance trend line, resistance level, sorry. And whenever it breaks it, if it does, I think it will be confirming this as a bottom as well, and we'll probably project the prices to 1600 satoshis, which would mean 60% upward movement. VeChain, well, one of the cryptos that had a very spectacular upward movement. One could have got 100% in here in a couple of weeks, and it's now testing this resistance trend line because, you know, it confirmed this as a resistance trend line. So let's see what it produces here. Maybe a flag, and then why did it go so widely up? It's very low priced, only 76 satoshis now, right? So that might be an idea for us to put it in our portfolio. So this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're in Brazil, if you're near Curitiba, I'm going to be there this next weekend with our course, our intensive course, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And the link is down below. See you next time. Bye-bye.